Okay, I'm doing this video to start a documentary. I've done some before with this, but here we go. 2009, I received a letter from a Howard Jacobs. Howard Jacobs is an attorney. In the letter, it stated that one David Vebora had tested positive for methyl testosterone, which is a steroid, from using deer antler spray at the time that he had gotten from Gary Steele's. Gary Steele's got the bottle from me in the Baltimore locker room. He was then traded to the St. Louis Rams, where he met Vebora, and he gave David Vebora a half a bottle of deer antler spray, a half, in the spring of 2008. The letter claimed that David Vebora tested positive in July of 2009. 1 year later, he got a half a bottle and tested positive for steroids, methyl testosterone, 1 year later. In the letter from Howard Jacobs, basically explained how if I went to my insurance company, that if I went to my insurance company and gave them $1 million, Mr. Vebora would not pursue this in the court of law, and that my other members of my LLC wouldn't be harassed. Well, of course, I didn't do that. And so they proceeded to sue me and my company, Anti-Steroid Program, LLC. All right, so I defended it and got off myself on the fact that St. Louis, Missouri had no jurisdiction over Mitch Ross. My company started to slowly lose money. I had a couple other partners in the LLC, so we closed the company. And I kind of was going to go on my way and so forth. Well, Mr. Vebora, I did not defend the lawsuit against the LLC. They got a default judgment against the LLC for $5.4 million. It's the biggest settlement in the history of sports supplement lawsuits, or the defense of the tainted supplement defense. That is the new defense for steroid users. Here's the deal. Used to be they denied the Barry Bondses, the Alex Rodriguez's, the Marion Joneses, the Ben Johnsons. We deny it. The Lance Armstrongs, the Floyd Landises, just deny it. Well, then they started getting in trouble. They get caught, blah, blah, blah. So what do? Bingo, ding, ding, ding. What's this? I'm said athlete. I want to take steroids. I've got a product here that I can just set over to the side, and I can say I'm using it. And if I get caught for the steroids, let's say it's methyl test or another oral steroid, I'll just take the lid off, put the steroids in the bottle, blame it that the supplement was tainted, send it to a lab, have it tested. Now it will test positive for what I'm taking because I've put it in the bottle. Now there is a shadow of doubt. Was he using steroids, or is it the new tainted supplement defense? Case in point, Howard Jacobs, the man that sent me the letter. It's 2016. Some of his clients in the last 16 years have been Floyd Landis. Marion Jones went to prison. Floyd Landis wrote a book, made $7 million. The book was about not taking steroids and not cheating, and boom, then he admitted to cheating, came back out, and paid everybody back for the book. This guy represents him. He is right now, he's representing Brock Lesnar. In the summer of 16, Lesnar tested positive for steroids before he fought Mark Hunt. The UFC didn't tell anybody until after the fight. He tested positive twice. He has now hired Howard Jacobs. Okay, so Mr. Vebora, methyl testosterone, claims in the lawsuit that I didn't defend that it's probably cross-contamination. There are only 3 labs in America that make methyl testosterone. It comes in a 10 milligram tablet. 10 milligrams, legal dose. That's all they sell. There's no way it was cross-contaminated because deer antler is not processed in these 3 labs. So cross-contamination is out. Now during that process, this past year, 2016, we found somebody who would take deer antler and take methyl testosterone and see if it were even soluble in deer antler. What that means is, if it's in the deer antler and you take it, will it work? And how much would you have to take if it were soluble to work? So I had a lab, my partner and I had a lab do that. And here's the scenario they came up with. To spike a bottle of deer antler with the 1 dose of 10 milligrams, Mr. Vebora would have had to had 7 spike bottles at one time to get 1 10 milligram dose. Now, if we were to just crush up pills and put them in the bottle, they're going to clog the sprayer. You follow me? The pill would dissolve, maybe, or break up, but it's not going to be soluble in the deer antler. So it would be in the bottom, it would be in the bottle all crushed up, and you'd go to spray it, and the sprayer would clog up. So now, is two things is impossible. Number one, it's impossible to cross-contaminate, and the media, in the stories, he received 1 bottle of spray, half from Gary Steele's. So now we're into 2016. In 2013, the state of Alabama came in and shut my company down. You can go see all those stories because of all of who I was working with, some of the claims I was making about some of the technologies that I have. During that time, Mr. Vebora brought his settlement case to Alabama around that same time. Now I'm going to back up. In this video, you'll see soon that now Mr. Vebora is doing a good deed. He's working with veterans of the war with blown off arms and legs and doing something very good, which is good. But he admits in an interview with the NFL Network, which I'll put into this video, that during 2011, about the time the lawsuit finalized, getting injured in the NFL, he acquired a $3,000 a week street drug habit. Now wait a minute. I did $3,000 a week street drugs, but I didn't take a little bit of methyl testosterone? Okay. Sounds a little suspicious. And Lance Armstrong didn't do steroids either. Oh, and neither did Barry Bonds. So, now he's brought the lawsuit here in Birmingham, and the deal is, it's now against me personally, me and my business partners. So, Tuesday, I'm going to court, and Mr. Vebora will be in another courtroom where he has purged himself in 2 courts in some way, shape, or form. And the legal system's letting this happen. Number 1. Number 2. Suing me personally, he had to prove, or they had to say, that I pierced the corporate veil. That's where, a company closes one company and opens up another one to dodge debts. Okay, the debt that they say I owe is $5.4 million to a steroid-using street drug, 3,000 a week street drug admitting habit, former NFL football player. Now, history tells us there's not been one guy that got caught using steroids that wasn't using steroids. Not one. And you've even had them go to jail. Marion Jones, who was represented by Howard Jacobs, went to jail. So here's the deal. Mr. Jacobs has represented 13 tainted supplement cases. 12 of them have settled. Well, let me tell you why they settled. I go at the supplement company, tell them, hey, give us $1 million. We won't take this to the media. He'll serve his 4-game suspension. Well, who pays it? The insurance company. So now that's an insurance scam. So let's say I'm a low-end athlete and I really don't know how good I'm going to do in the NFL. I'm only making $500,000 or $400,000, whatever the minimum is. And I get this idea with my lawyer. Hey, look, guess what we'll do? We'll do a tainted supplement case. Wow. Today's society is amazing. So, in the end, you can Google David Vebora. You can Google Mitch Ross. You can see the stories out there. I'm going to go back to when David Vebora was using the spray. I'm going to tell you who some of my clients were at the time. Hugh Jackson was the coach of the Baltimore Ravens. My biggest client was Ray Lewis. I worked with him for 7 years. He used more deer antler spray than you can imagine. Other athletes that had used it was Brett Favre, Gary Steeles, Jamal Lewis. Let's see, who else? I can't remember all of them, but if you go, his case says that I had 50 NFL endorsements. Coaches, players. Well, let me ask you this question. If I always had a product that had methyl testosterone in it, wouldn't one of them tested positive? And let me cover this. I took the bottle from the same lot number. A lot number is a number on a bottle. You'll have a number on the bottom usually. And that's the lot that was ran. So there may be 1,000 bottles that are ran that way. That lot number covers that batch. I sent to a friend of mine, he took a bottle, a doctor, and sent it to the best basically the best lab in America to have it tested for steroids. Well, guess what? The lot number came back. No steroids. So I'm going to do this video. I'm going to put it up. I'd like everybody to like it. I'd like you to please share it, because Tuesday I'm going to court for something that is absolutely absurd. And, it's amazing now how athletes can claim tainted supplement defense and, ruin people's lives. Lance Armstrong sued people and ruined their lives. Watch the Oprah Winfrey show. They'll do anything to get away with it. Now they're getting away with it, doing it, and making money. I just didn't have, number one, I didn't have insurance because our company wasn't making any money. And number two, they did try to settle with me. And when they tried to settle with me, they wanted me to basically say that I had no idea how Mr. Vebora came to the bottle of spray got methyl testosterone in it, and that I had no knowledge of David Vebora using methyl testosterone, and I wish, and that would help with them in any legal matters against the distributor, the manufacturer of the deer antler, and I wish David Vebora all the best with his NFL career. Well, I didn't do that either. Wasn't going to, because I knew, I had an anti-steroid company. My company's name was SWAT, Sports with Alternatives to Steroids. This company they sued was Anti-Steroid Program, LLC. They sued, Anti-Steroid Program, LLC got sued for steroids. Imagine that. So, you watch this, and we'll go from there. And thank you for watching. Thank you.